What's going on, everyone? So, I am playing catch up on some videos here that I've had on my phone for a while and just haven't had the time to edit them and put everything together that I wanted to. In this next video, you're going to see an S2000 with a Haltech Platinum plug-in ECU system. Now, if you go back in the channel, and I can put some links down below, we've been talking about the Haltech Platinum Pro plug-in series, especially on the S2000 for a while now, because it's an alternative to everything else that is out there and is completely plug and play. So with that being said, we've had a couple snow days here because we got hit with some really bad weather. I'm not sure if you can hear the dryer running in the background right now. I'm doing drying my daughter's clothes. Yes, I still do laundry and stuff. So basically, real quick, this video is just going to document this car, and at the very end though, even if you're not running a Haltech Platinum setup, at the very end of this video I'm going to go in detail on some stuff because, well, you'll see. In this video I talk about the Dyno Checklist and stuff like that, and at the very end of this video, what I talk about is also going to pertain to, it doesn't matter what you're running. You could be running Honda, Mega Squirt, AEM, ECU Masters. It doesn't matter. It all is the same principle. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoy this video, and if you get to the end, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you may be. And of course, if you always, as I always say, if you're new here, if you got questions, you can message me, rcautoworks@gmail.com. We are on Facebook at RC Autoworks, and you can always comment down below on this video, and I'll get back to you. With that being said, enjoy the footage. What's going on, guys? So we got this S2000 up today. We have the Lotus pulled off the dyno, and this one is fairly stock. This one's on a Haltech Platinum setup. I think my biggest concern right now at this very moment is just getting it on the dyno, which I'll set up the camera and you'll see how we get it on the dyno. We have wood over there. Just make sure that front bumper doesn't want to hit at all. And you can see the wood over here. So I'm going to go back this car up and get my tripod, and I'll be right back. So before I back it up, I wanted to mention something really quick before I forget. This one is fairly stock, and you'll see that in a little bit. A lot of people ask, well, am I going to see any difference or gains if I just get a tune and I'm fairly stock? The answer is yes. And on this chassis specifically, he's going to see some nice gains because it's detuned from the factory. So, you know, it should be a night and day difference, and then he's already set up. And the Haltech Platinum's a plug-and-play setup. If you go on our YouTube video, we have another video that shows you how the install's super simple and easy. He already took care of that himself. But to answer the question, you know, why is it getting it tuned, or why does he have that ECU if it's stock? You're gonna gain power nonetheless. Doesn't matter the car. Some cars are going to gain more power than others, and this is one of them. So I wanted to mention that really quick before I forgot. So you kind of saw what we have to go through to get some of these cars up on the dyno. Some cars are a little bit tougher than others, especially if the wheelbase is shorter. Mazda Miatas are one of them that the wheelbase is so short, you got to make sure you almost get it perfect, or else you got one side of the car hanging off the actual lift itself, which you know, safety first. So some other cars are just really a pain, but you know, this one got up. We didn't have to take the bumper off, and that's the main thing. And I'm sitting in the car. I'm going to build the tune right now for it. I'm going to load it up on the dyno, and I got to say this though. The customer already had this ran for me and ready. Oh, it helps so much, man. I can't express it. Like, you know, it might seem something little to you guys, but
This ECU is tucked all the way under over there. Some ECUs are impossible to get to. There's sometimes where I have to spend 10 to 15, 20 minutes getting to the access to the ECU and then hooking the cord up too. So big plus on that, and keep that in mind for your tuner. He will appreciate you too. I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna start building the tune. I'll be back. I'll try to provide some useful educational information. So I am inside the car, and it's nice and quiet in here, kind of. Everything's pretty much done. This one is, there's not much to talk about. I keep trying to think of what to show you guys, and I don't want to keep being repetitive, especially if you watch my other videos. I don't want every car to be, oh, he's going to show us something again in the program. What I was saying earlier too, and I just wanted to mention this, now how every car, you're gonna gain power even if it's stock, and you should be able to feel a difference. It's not only am I basing that off my personal opinion and experience, I'm also basing it off the dyno numbers. Now, this car was on a base map prior to here, and I couldn't do a full out pull because it wasn't running how it should have been, and I would have ran the risk of doing harm to the motor, and that's the main thing. So there's really no before and after. And if you watch my videos before this, dyno numbers don't mean anything in a sense, because it's very easy to manipulate dyno numbers. I tune on a Dyno Jet, and it's actually one of the harder dynos to actually manipulate the numbers, but they really don't mean anything. Now, he could have gained more power if he had a header, let's say, but without going too deep into, I don't want to get too personal, a header on this car wouldn't make sense. Let's just leave it at that for now. So, and the other thing too is, depending on the car, some cars are going to be more, you're going to feel more of a difference. And it also depends on what you're expecting. So if you're expecting to, if this guy's expecting to get it back and it's going to feel like, the car's, it feels like it's turbo, it's not going to feel like it's turboed. So there's, for me to, what I'm trying to ultimately say is for me to gauge, what you're going to feel and what I feel. It's hard to say, but most cars, you can feel a difference with a tune, even if it's fairly stock. So hopefully that made sense. The other thing I will mention out there, because, well, I always mention this, is you always want a car ready for the dyno, no matter where you're going. You could be on the other side of the world going to a tuner, and we have a checklist here that we made. Of course, it's going to be backwards. Dyno Checklist, and let me actually flip the camera around, and it's a little dark. Now, you can see the basic stuff. Wiring, we don't want any exposed wires, of course. No check-in, the codes for the check engine light, what are they? There's some exceptions. And I literally just dropped the phone, and I hit the stop record button. So and the list goes on and on. The cool thing about this checklist, I will mention, is there's some stuff on here that people forget about. And when they read it, they literally tell us, oh man, I would have never thought about that. Checking if your alternator's charging, stuff like that. And we want, as I said too, it doesn't matter if you're on the other side of the world. I want people to succeed. I want people to be successful when they go on the dyno. Not only here, it doesn't matter. You can go anywhere. You can go on the other side, if you're not local to us or whatever. I want people to succeed. And this is why we have a checklist here. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 pages long of stuff to look for, and some tips and suggestions. So I will leave it at that. If you want a dyno checklist, you can shoot us an email, rcautoworks@gmail.com, and you could just put in the subject dyno checklist. And that's about it, guys. There's really not too much else to get into here. Car definitely picked up some power compared to what a stock car would be making, a stock S2000. I can compare that off the other dyno sheets that I have. I've tuned many I've tuned actually many close to stock S2000s. Some didn't have a header, some had headers. I've tuned a lot on the Platinum setup too with Haltech. So that's the other thing too, guys. As I said in my other videos, you buy from us, we'll help you set it up. We'll get you on the right step, get you going. And ultimately, if you're coming here for a tune, well, hopefully all this stuff I'm talking about is going to help you be successful. With that being said, man, there's really not too much else. I'm going to get on to the next one here. I'm going to wrap this one up, go from there. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying these videos. I appreciate if you're watching it all the way to the end. I'm going to pay off the guys that do watch all these videos to the end. You guys are going to get some little coupon codes and some discounts and stuff, so it's going to make it all worthwhile. I think it was Saturday, I made a video and I talked about a sponsorship type deal. I'm going to hold that off to the next video to discuss it a little bit more. But keep on watching, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day. Okay, guys, so I am downstairs. If you hear some kids upstairs playing and running around, well, it's because it is a snow day, and I am at home, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Now, this is Haltech Platinum software setup, and I was trying to load a data log, because if I had a data log loaded, anything that you save in an actual data log, well, these boxes would be highlighted. So if you're connected to a car, though, anything that you have selected, and you can change everything up here, and you can change the layout how you want it. It's going to be actually moving, of course, if you're connected to the vehicle. Now, every now and then, too, I hear some people say, well, I didn't want to hurt anything. I didn't want to connect, and I was scared to. Just open, if you got the laptop, just open up the software. Mess around with it. It's not that difficult. And the biggest thing, on our dyno checklist, it has a bunch of stuff, and this is kind of what I wanted to show you guys and, walk you through. One of the biggest things on our dyno checklist is, is your alternator charging? Are you getting proper battery voltage? Not a lot of people realize that if you're not getting the proper voltage, and let's say the alternator is not charging, well, you can't, the tune's not going to be complete. And, I'm not going to go into the back half of a program and talk about that portion, because that's not what this is about. But, you can open up the program,
and you can check battery volts. You know, where is it? Where is it? And let's just say that it's reading 14.2, and you're not a mechanic, and you know, well, is that good? Or, you know, you can Google it really quick, and you should see like what's the proper voltage should be. You know, where should I be at charging? Same with the coolant temp sensor. The coolant temp should be at a certain degree. Now, we have a lot of cars that come in that either the radiator fan won't work and the car wants to overheat. You know, all this can be addressed beforehand. And most of our customers, you know, are pretty tech savvy. So we do have older customers that, you know, I wouldn't, that barely know how to work a smartphone. I wouldn't expect them to do this. But those older customers will tell us too, flat out, like, hey, Bob, I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know. I want to make sure the car's 100%. Can you go over it and look it over? And we say, sure. So this is just Platinum. Now, you have to take in consideration that every tuning program, yeah, it's a little bit different and it's going to look different, but the majority of it's the same. So this is Honda Flash Pro Manager, and the Haltech Platinum the program kept crashing every time I tried to open a data log, and I wasn't going to fight with it today. But I have a data log opened up in the back half of the program, and it's down here. Now, all of this stuff you can see how it's highlighted, and it will move if I press on the data log, and you're going to see everything move, and it's the same concept. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the phone stable and look through my phone as I'm talking, and yes, I could have done this through the program that I have to do screen capture, but I want to keep it simple, and I want to get this video up because I've been delaying on it because I haven't had the time. But anyways, you know, you can check stuff like, where's my coolant temperature at? Is my IAT sensor, intake air temp sensor reading? A lot of these cars, they don't even have an intake temp sensor, or it's not ran or whatever. And then in this program, any car that's going to be like an OBD2, I won't say a piggyback system, like Honda plugs into the OBD2 port, Haltech is a standalone. But you can check your air codes really quick, and it will show you what air codes you have. Now, some air codes, it's no big deal if it's something that's going to be disabled in the tune, but you know, if you're unsure, contact us beforehand. And that's everything too. You know, if the car's running, you can verify, you know, hey, what's my map sensor reading? And if the car's not running and it won't start, one of the biggest things on the older Civics, so you would have a Honda S Manager open, or you know, even K Pro, K Manager. The map sensor and the TPS, the throttle plate, the sensors are right next to each other, and they're the same exact clip, so you can flip them over. So let's just say, hey, my car doesn't want to start. Well, really quick and simple is plug in the program and hit the throttle, and if your map moves when you hit the throttle, well, you got the plug switched around. Or if it says you're building 10 or 20 pounds of boost when the car's off, or even at idle, well, you know, there's an issue. So a lot of this stuff can be caught before it goes on the dyno. And this is kind of what this video was about more so. Besides that, guys, that's what I wanted to show you. Now, I do have videos specifically on the Honda platform of how to start a map and how to load stuff up, and I'll do that with Haltech stuff, and I just got to find the time. But this is all just to make sure that your car is ready for the dyno. And it's not just something that I preach. A lot of other shops preach it. I follow a couple other shops that are far away or not local. And as I say it in all the videos too, like, I'm here to help you. Even if your tuner, let's say you're in Florida and your tuner's in Florida, this is to help him out. You know, I'm not expecting you to drive down from Florida to come here for a tune. We do have people that drive far distances, so it's not, you know, a crazy thing to say. But, you know, my whole thing is I base everything off of, you know, it's not like I'm trying to keep this to myself, or, you know, you can only have a Dyno Checklist if you buy a tune from me. It's not about that. And the whole thing that I always preach is, you know, the people that do that, or they're trying to get you to, you know, well, if you're not coming here, then I'm not gonna you know, give you this, and, you know, go, you know, it's not about that. It's about helping others out. Now, There is a difference, though, between, you know, wasting somebody's time and or trying to price match and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. We could save that for a whole nother video. But that's about it, guys. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about. If you want a checklist, I don't remember the clips in this video too much because I recorded these a while back and I just haven't had the time to upload it. rcautoworks@gmail.com and simply say, hey, can I get a checklist? And we'll send you one for free. With that being said, hopefully everyone's enjoying their day. I'm going to wrap this up, get this one up on YouTube. Keep the feedback and the comments coming. I love to hear it. It keeps me motivated, guys, to keep doing more. Take care.